All right, welcome back to the second round of Throw of the O. This is the final lead card for MA4 division. We got Keith Augustine, Blake Muncie, Adam Marshman, Tony Flowers on the card. I want to show you Keith Augustine's one of the guys that kind of got me into disc golf, so we're going to follow him and myself. We start off on hole 15, and Keith throws a decent shot here. He's a Latitude 64 guy or Trilogy guy, so that's what he's going to throw most of the time. Here's myself trying to throw my Undertaker again. I go to throw, and then the disc comes rolling across the fairway and distracts me. Don't really get a good angle on my Undertaker. I missed my line by a good bit, so ends up with a big hyzer. It's not awful. It's not great by any means. So we'll see what happens here. All right, line up my upshot here. I think I used my razor claw. I didn't get quite the distance that I wanted to get on it, but it's not terrible by any means. Here we go with Keith. He's setting the second shot up, and he does a pretty good job of getting it up there. He gives himself a chance for par here. All right, so let's see if I can get my par here. Again, still pretty windy. Second round today. It's not quite as bad, but it's still not the best conditions that I've ever played disc golf in, and there's a threat of rain. But leave it short, didn't really give myself a chance. And here's Keith, and he sinks it. So I cleaned up my shot right here. And there we go. All right, hole 16. Again, a lot of people take the hyzer route to the right over the lake, but I don't have that kind of power. Keith throws left hand and right hand in case you didn't see. He's choosing to go left handed here to kind of play it safe. Pretty decent shot. Again, I'm using my Maverick again here. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, it's almost the same shot I had in the first round. So I'll take it. It gives me in position here. This time I choose to go with my razor claws and my buzz because I pulled my buzz the first round. And this one I lay up there pretty close.
Nice.
On the pin to give myself a pretty easy par. So Keith gives a good rip at it. You can see it's starting to rain a little bit. He's a little bit short, but he should have a chance for a par. And he sinks it. So Keith pars it out, and I par it out. You can see the rest of the scores on the bottom of the screen right there. So we're good to go. All right, hole 17. Let's see what Keith can do. Looks like he's going righty this time. Kind of hyzers it into the hill. Gets a little bounce, but not too bad. It's a little bit short. I'm going with a different disc this time. I think I'll go with a Firebird. A little bit more stable. Decent drive, but it hits the hill and kind of rolls and ends up going back to the place where I tend to be at in these little bushes right there. So Keith's upshot here. Let's see, again, the pin's kind of up on the hill to your left. He gives a good rip, but he's going to be quite a bit short. Again, as I was saying, guys, I'm kind of in this area again. The signs in my way, so I couldn't have a really good shot at it. Didn't really have a lot of good power because of my angle. I leave it short. And then I get the dreaded roll away. So throw the O and these Healy pins. I give it a go here. Again, trying to more or less play it safe. Keith takes a run at it, then you see what happens. He gets to roll away, unfortunately. Again, that's the kind of things that make you want to quit disc golf. So we all get close enough now, but we're taking our lumps in this one. Keith gets a bogey, and I get a bogey. I think only one person on our card got a par. But that's how you start it sometimes. All right, hole 18. Again, my drive is not. It's almost like the same as my first round. I hit that stupid limb again. I don't quite go down as far, but I'm still down there in some mess. Keith kind of rips this one to the right a little bit, and again, not a whole lot of power, so it wasn't a great drive by him, but still better than my miss. So I got to scramble again to try to save myself from too many strokes. Don't do a bad shot. I think I threw the Firebird there, but again, I'm still ways from par. And again, this is another one of those pins that's on the hill, so it's dangerous. Doesn't roll too bad. I missed Keith's second shot, but he didn't see him down the hill. Um, Again, he misses. He starts to roll away, but it curls up enough where he should be able to save. But I don't think he focused too much right here, and again, he kind of whiffs it. I'm struggling with my footing still on this one. It's always a struggle. Again, I say bogey once again, so from where I was, I'll take it every day. So I'm back to hole one. I throw my escape again. It stays low. It gets a little air bump. I'm not sure why I threw it so low, but it ends up working out. Keith, he's going lefty now. We end up pretty much almost in the same spot, so we both have at least a chance for birdie. It's an outside chance, but it's there. Keith was a little bit more under the tree than I was, so I had a little bit better angle at it, but I didn't really give it a good run. Again, the wind was kind of scaring me some on this day, because if you got too high a course, it's going to glide and float away. So you kind of pick and choose. Now it's an awful step put, but it curls up nicely at least. But today I'll take a par. All right, hole 2 drive again. First round I went to the bushes over the gate, so I tried to throw something a little bit more overstable this time to get it back to the left to give myself a better angle into the basket. Wasn't a great shot, wasn't terrible, but I wouldn't mind being a little bit further, probably a little bit past that tree. Those are bigger arms, can go over the road, but that's not me at this point in time. Again, Keith throws a decent shot here. I get away with a little foot fault here, but hey, it happens. We're in novice division.
There you go.
Decent shot, so I have a very outside shot chance of birdie. So Keith has a chance of birdie here too. He kind of just lays it up a little bit. I do the same thing more or less. Again, because there's a rope OB behind this pin. And if you get too aggressive, you can find yourself in more trouble. So let's see if Keith cleaned it up. He's able to sink that for par, so now I'm able to sink mine for par. So we're doing decent again. Somehow I found myself on this lead card even after the awful round in the first round. All right, hole 3, throwing my escape. I don't quite get as flat as I need to, and it hodges out a good bit and ends up going pretty much all the way down into number 16's fairway. Keith is going righty here, and he pretty much follows me. Doesn't quite go down as far, but neither one of us are in great position to have a legitimate shot at birdie, and really we're having to scramble just for par, more or less. I think I'm going to throw a razor claw here because I have some trees to get around. This is really what I use as my overstable disc. The kind of shapes and things, it's a very good skipper. I like it. It's comparable to a zone if you ever thrown a zone. Keith winds up pretty short on his. Again, so you see the wind blowing. You don't want to be short on a day like this. And he ends with a bogey, and I end up with a par, so we'll take it. All right, hole 4. Again, a short hole again. This time I tried to hyzer out, but I didn't really get it far enough to the right. I ended up in some trees. I think Keith's going to show me how it's done here. So he throws a little bit better shot than I did there. But he still was able to get some trees a little bit. But that's kind of the shot I was intending to throw. But I should still be able to get close enough, usually for a par, if I don't hit any more trees. But again, that's a big if. I think I was throwing a buzz there, and I just get it too high. That's just terrible terrible form, everything on my part. Didn't quite flex back on the Luna like I wanted to. That's a Paul and Best special black flag Luna. I like it for the longer putt shots. Keep kind of lays up, so I gotta save this right here for my bogey. So I get that done, and then Keith just kind of lays it in for his par. All right, hole 5 again, tight gap again. This time not so fortunate. I barely hit the tree. Keith kind of laughs at me. I missed Keith's drive, but you see where he goes. He hit that stump, so he didn't go very far either. But decent shot there. Not a very good second shot. I get it down there, but again, it's too far left and didn't get enough distance on there. So I'm really now having to scramble just to save bogey. Again, it's a very long hole. This was actually the hole that the MPO used for their closest to pin. So I would like to have seen that because the flag was pretty close on this pin from what I saw. Keith lays his up decently, but we both end up with a bogey on this hole, so we sink our bogey putts here. After 9 holes, you see I've made some ground up, but pretty much it's the same order. Not a great round by anybody. Hole 6, again, this is the kind of hole that got me last time, and it gets me this time, unfortunately, again. Throwing the Maverick again. Pretty much almost the same exact thing. Not quite, got through there a little bit more, but again, leaves in a position where this is one of those shots I wish I could take back, one of the decisions. I didn't have good footing. Again, there's a vine in my way. I'm going to try to hazard over the parking lot, and I slip, end up going out of bounds. I should just kind of throw it up there the best I can just to kind of gain some ground, so that really cost me on this hole. This is my out of bounds shot. Again, this is still pretty tricky because it's very easy to go out of bounds to the bottom of the hill, and I didn't really get any good distance on this, so it was just terrible. I missed Keith's second shot. This is actually his third shot, I believe. Again, so you see my shot end up down at the bottom of the hill. I was still in bounds. It wasn't good. Wasn't good for either one of us. Keith got a double bogey and I got a triple bogey, so we missed some things there. All right, hole 7. Again, short hole, but you got the water on the left, you got a Mando on the right, but you also got the path that's kind of close by on the right. So there's a lot of danger here, but you just got to kind of get it down there. You can't be scared of it. I do a much better job this time of taking my Maverick and getting it down there. And as close as I want it to be, because you got to be a little bit closer to run it for birdie because of the water behind the pin. I think I threw maybe a Rhino here. I can't know. I threw my Luna here, but I didn't do a very good job. So, but par, and we even had a birdie in the group, and I got a par on that as well. All right, hole 8. God, I hate this hole. Keith throws left-handed, he takes his hyzer out. I wouldn't expect that from him, but it works out for him.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to miss a tree this time, and almost did, but not quite. So again, it's still baffling me a little bit. Still frustrates me. I didn't really have a good second shot here again, so you can see the frustration on me. I hate it. Yeah, I'm still a long way off. This is a long hole. I know it's close to 500 feet, it seems like. And with the wind and the trees in the way, it's not an easy hole in a long position. I much prefer the par 3 position on that hole, even though it's on a hill too, but it's a lot more manageable. Keith throws here, didn't quite get the distance he wants to get. I think I missed his third shot though. This is my 4th shot. And I'm still a good ways off from the basket. You see the wind's blowing like crazy. Give it a good go, but still not quite as far as I need to be. Again, this is Keith's 4th shot. His 3rd shot ended up down there. We missed that one. So he kind of lays it up and didn't quite go as far as he wanted to go. So I asked my wife here, should I lay up or go for it? She tells me to go for it. Of course I am. So I go for it and get a little roll. So Keith goes for it, and unfortunately he gets even a worse roll. You can see here it keeps rolling and rolling, and it ends up going out of bounds. So that's very unfortunate for him. This is probably the hole, I would say, that probably cost him the tournament more than anything, unfortunately for him. And I missed my comeback putt here. I didn't aim high enough. Again, I should have been aiming for the band, and I ended up hitting the cage. That's frustrating. Again, you see Keith goes 5 over par in this hole, and I go for a triple bogey. So that hole wasn't very kind to either of us. Hasn't been kind. It wasn't kind to me in either round. Hole 9, I throw my escape here. I kind of grip lock it a little bit, or pull at least, go too much right, so I hit that tree. Hitting trees a lot this weekend, unfortunately. Keith throws a decent shot.
I'll buy you some more.
I'm still a long way off. I don't really get enough power on this because I didn't want to do a run up. Get it up too much and get up, it'll win, and it kind of just kills everything. So here's Keith's birdie attempt. He more or less just lays it up. I don't blame him after taking the score he did on number 8. Again, I'm trying to save par here. This is a decent length putt. I give it a good go. Hit the band and just doesn't get it, unfortunately. So, but Keith is able to save his par. So we move on. All right, hole 10. Keith does his usual thing here. It goes down the right side. Not a bad shot. Not a good shot for birdie. I decided to go ahead and try something different. Use my Undertaker and get too far left. Didn't really get a lot of distance on it either. This is Keith's up shot. Ends up not being very good. He kind of throws it to the ground. So I try to do a little bit better job here. Try to get a little bit closer. Again, this pin is tricky because of it being on the hill and having a creek behind it that you can easily go down into and be OB. For some reason, it should be. I think it should be more casual, but they label it as OB, and Keith actually goes OB right there. So again, there's and then he's just not able to make his comeback putt. So again, it's hole 8 and 10 is really what cost him. And at this point in time, we think we're pretty much out of the tournament. You see, Keith gets a triple bogey, and I get a par. Hole 11 starts to get kind of interesting. Again, I try to turn over my escape here, and the wind kind of turns it into a roller, so I go out of bounds there. That's not good. Keith throws a pretty excellent shot here, which puts him in position for par. The 2 other guys on this hole, though, they were the leaders on our card at this point in time by a good bit. Their first shots, both of them, they throw a forehand, and the wind carries it, and it goes way to the right, and both of them end up losing that disc. They can't find it. So they have to go back and re-tee. And one of the guys ends up going out of bounds off his re-tee, and the other guy ends up going decently up there. So they lose a bunch of strokes on this hole. I didn't get Keith's second shot, but you can see he's ready for it. He gets up there pretty close. Again, this is my, I guess this would be my 4th shot. I get close enough where I should be able to go ahead and just get it in for a double bogey. So Keith pars it again. You see Muncie quadruple bogeys it. Marshman 5s over pars it, and I bogeyed it. So this guy's lost a bunch of strokes on that hole. So things start to get kind of interesting again. You see, we're still out of it a little bit, but we're within striking distance. Hole 12. Keith kind of babies it here, and he ends up going out of bounds. The pass out of bounds. Again, I do the same thing I did in the first round and take it out wide. Didn't get quite as much distance as I wanted on it. Other 2 guys, again, they start to kind of choke a little bit. Not I won't say choke, but they started to blow up. They both go out of bounds here once, and even go into the water a few times. So this hole 11 and 12 start to make kind of things kind of interesting for old Keith. He has a chance to still pull it out. Again, it's a putt that Keith probably makes most of the time, but I don't think he wasn't able to sink it here. So he ends up with a double bogey again. You see double bogey, and par. So again, I had a long par on the card. I'm at hole 13. First round I went OB on this hole, so I tried to change things up a little bit and make sure I stay low. It's okay. It wasn't great by any means. Keith has a decent shot here. Goes a little bit further than mine, so he's in a better position on the second shot. Marshman actually goes out of bounds on the first shot, and then he goes out of bounds again on his second shot. So he's really struggling these last few holes. He ends up going from leading the card to he's moving down a good bit here. I'm trying to decide what to do here. I don't know whether to throw the forehand or try to throw the back in Enheiser. So I was kind of back and forth. So I wasn't quite sure what the wind was going to do. I thought if I threw the forehand, it could take it. So I ended up going with the back end Enheiser. Don't quite get as far as I need to get it. So Keith's second shot here, not very bad at all. I mean, it gives himself a chance to make par. So I have to go down to 1D, the old putting challenge here. Don't get quite as far as I need to. Again, it's another one of those pins that's on a hill, so if you end up going long, it could roll down and go out of bounds. So you got to be very careful. You see the wind's blowing like crazy, but Keith's able to sink that big par putt there, so he's still in it. Especially with Muncie Bogan and again Marshman going 5 over par, and I'm cleaning my bogey out. So at this point in time, I'm out of it. I'm playing for fun here. So last hole here, Keith takes the hyzer route. He didn't want to go through the gap. I said I'm going through the gap, so let's do this. I get through there. It wasn't a great shot, but it's through there. So we're finishing up here. At this time, I think Keith is 1 stroke ahead of me, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm kind of thinking that in my mind. This is the 3rd tournament that me and Keith play together, and I've been fortunate to come out ahead of him in the 2 other tournaments. So I'm playing for some pride here. I know I can't win this thing. So Keith throws up there. So here I am, my par putt. I'm thinking if I sink this and Keith misses his, then we'll tie. So I give it a go. But a little bit short, I end up hitting the band, unfortunately. So Keith cleans his up here. He gets his bogey. Muncie got a bogey. Marshall a double bogey. And I got my bogey. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. You see the final standings there. Blake Muncie takes it home with a 29 over. And I come in tied for 3rd.